Now, we know that the circumference of a circle, because we're talking about this outer circle, the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r or 2r pi, whichever way you want to say it, it means the same thing because we know the rules of mathematics that says no matter the order, the multiplication will still be the same. Now, we know our radius equals 1. We know that because we've been saying that it's a unit circle and all unit circles have a radius of 1. So if 1 is the radius, let me see, 1 is the radius, let me just write that in, 2 pi, radius equals 1, that must mean my circumference of the circle is, because if I multiply all this, 2 pi, because 1 times anything will give us just that anything, right? So that means the full circle, that's 360 degrees equals 2 pi. So we already have our first bit of information for our circle. We have our circle, and I'm just going to take this out so you can see. Our circle here equals, which is very important, equals, and I'm going to write it down for you, 2 pi. Now let me ask you a question. If the full circle equals 2 pi, that's everything around here equals 2 pi. This would represent half of the circle. So if the whole circle equals 2 pi, 360 degrees is 2 pi, what would half of the circle be? What's half of 2? Wouldn't that be 1 pi or just pi? So we have a lot of information so far. We have 2 pi and we have pi. Pi is half of a circle, 2 pi is the whole circle. Okay? And I have to be honest, with this we can even find some more. But I'm not going to do that yet. Okay? I'm going to talk about all of these different degrees first. So let's start with the first one. Let's start with the first one. Here we go. I'm going to take my unit circle down and we're going to start with the first one. Ready? I'm going to figure it out using what we already know, the degree to radian. Now, we want to let this or make this have a pi symbol in it because that's the only way we're going to find a radian. So what I did was I took the 30 and I multiplied it by pi over 180. That will end up giving me 30 pi over 180. Now we're not going to leave it 30 pi over 180 because we know that can be simplified. And why not simplify it? It just makes better sense to simplify. It sure doesn't make sense to leave it like that. It makes sense to simplify it, make it look better for everyone involved, you know? So now, how many times does 30 go into 180 and how do we simplify this? That's what I want to know. Yes, 30 goes into 180 6 times. So that will give us 1 over 6 pi or pi over 6.